Hey guys, the Firebird is here. It's just me. My brother couldn't be here today because he was caught in 4K with Rise of the Beast RC, which a lot, and I mean a lot of like Transformers Twitter has been taken over by RC lately. Not even Transformers Twitter, just Twitter in general. I see a lot of people feel a particular kind of way about RC and her quote-unquote yoga pants. I mean, whatever floats your boat. Anyways, these are the jokes. Hope you guys are enjoying them. Also, one more thing before we go on. Recently we had a little contest on my Discord server giving people the prompt to redesign a Transformers character to whatever they may like. So I want to give a shout out to the real Wheeljack for his redesign of Hardtop over here. It honestly looks really good, man. Like, good job on that one. I love the way you made him bulkier. And also shout out to everyone else who participated. Like, we're all honestly really amazing, but I could only choose one. So yeah. Now it's time to move on and talk about the elephant in the room, the Rise of the Beast trailer. Surprisingly enough, and this is very good for Paramount, the trailer actually performed really well. At the point of this upload, it has a lot, and I mean a lot of views, which that's a good sign. Everyone from Transformers movie fans, non-Transformers movie fans, regular people, and streamers have all been reacting and talking about the trailer, which is a good sign because you want your movie to be promoted this way. So far it's looking very good for Rise of the Beast. However, the discussion about the movie has been kind of mixed. So in this video I'm gonna go over some of the recent stuff that got confirmed after the trailer got released, as well as go over some of the problems that people have with the trailer itself and why this could be bad for the final release of the movie, or debunk some of those arguments. So first off, I want to start with something that everyone has been complaining / talking about, and that's the CGI. Okay, let me tell you a funny story. When we were waiting for the trailer to drop, I was honestly scrolling through YouTube, refreshing the page, hoping the trailer will come out, and then all of a sudden I find the trailer, but it's like in Russian or some other European language. I don't remember. I think it was in Italian. Maybe it was Italian. But that version of the trailer was the first one to drop on YouTube. I wasn't recording at that point, and just to be sure that this was the actual thing, I scroll, further into the trailer just in case it might be real to see that this is not fan-made. Because, people in the fandom really do like making fan-made Transformers live-action movies. So I scrolled through the trailer, and this is the first shot I saw. Optimus Prime jumping down and pointing his gun towards Optimus Primal. And then I saw probably arguably the worst shots in the trailer, and to me they looked off. I was like, okay, the CGI here like looks very movie-esque, but at the same time I was like, it also feels kind of fan-made. It doesn't quite feel like something I'll expect from a Transformers movie, So after that I was like, is this fake? I can't tell. And a few seconds later, people on my Discord server, sure enough, like gave it the link to the official trailer that dropped on the Paramount side. So I click on that one, and it's the same trailer I was looking at. So that one was real, but the mere fact that my first impression was like, is this real or is this fake? Like, the major complaint has been that the CGI kinda looks off. Now I'll be honest, I don't think the CGI looks bad. I think some of the shots here, they do look bad, especially at the beginning with Optimus Prime and his interaction with Optimus Primal. Like, that looks soft, but everything else about the trailer, from the chase to the other Maximals to the final battle with the Terrorcons, like all of that looks fantastic. That's like about what I expect from a Transformers movie. It's just like the bad shots that unfortunately I think were placed honestly at the worst possible time at the beginning, which gives people their first impression of the trailer and of the movie as a whole. They were not the best choice. And the thing is that Transformers movies always had a rough kind of looking first trailer. I think the most famous example would be Age of Extinction. This is the comparison that has been used the most often. If you look at the first trailer for Age of Extinction compared to how it ended up looking towards the end, you can see that the CGI was clearly polished by the time of the movie's release, and it looked way better. Some folks, like even Laszlo Van, even went on Twitter and basically posted an image of like how it looks on the actual trailer and how it's probably gonna look like when it's finished, or how would it be done had ILM still be working on the movie. And for those of you guys who don't know, ILM, they were the CGI company that worked on almost all the movies. They are not coming back for this one. For this one, they're using a different studio that's responsible for the live-action Lion King remake. Now, while that movie's bad for a lot of reasons, the CGI work for that one and the animals honestly is pretty good. which you can kind of appreciate when you look at the Maximals in the trailer. Like, all of the beasts look honestly fantastic. They really nailed their designs out of the park. Now, to be fair, I love like the, actual transformers in the trailer itself, like the actual transforming, the way most of them appear. Honestly, I think the CGI looks pretty good. So I don't think the CGI is honestly the problem here. I think people are confused as to what the real problem is, and that is composition. When I mean the composition for the movie is kinda off, I really do mean it. Like, look at this shot. This is probably, in my opinion, the worst shot of the whole trailer. When Optimus Prime puts his gun down, look at the angle it's here. It looks kinda boring, and it looks almost fan-made. Like, this is like the kind of look I expect from, fan works and stuff like that. Not exactly a, professional Transformers-like movie. And I'm gonna say it right now, this video is not meant to put down Stephen Campbell Jr. or the cast. I honestly think that they are really doing their best. Stephen Campbell Jr. seems like a genuine Transformers fan and nice guy overall. But the point is that some shots here look very off. Like, look, Optimus Prime is just straight in the center of this camera. This shot looks kinda boring. Compare that to some more interesting shots that might be pulled off in some other movies. This shot with Megatron pointing at Lennox. It's a very simple shot of Megatron giving a command, but the camera work, the angles here, they made it interesting. Or even the small scene of the Autobots talking to the humans about Galvatron being Megatron. Look at the camera angles here. The Autobots are always shot from a point, that's looking the ground up because they're supposed to be giant robots. These are technically Titans. And the camera work here just helps emphasize the way they look. And if we have some wide shots, we get to see multiple characters there, just to give us an idea of like what the layout of the place is, the conversation, the scenes taking place in. A lot of people have been comparing this shot to the Bumblebee movie with Blitzwing when he points down his gun. Look at the way the shot looks. It's just a simple action. Blitzwing takes his gun out to shoot a Bumblebee. By itself, that description is boring, but the camera work and the angle of the camera makes this look interesting. It's honestly one of my favorite shots in all the BB movie. And here, Optimus Prime is just awkwardly pointing his gun up and then just slowly pulling it back, with the camera slowly closing in with him at the center. There's all this dead space here, which makes this look kind of off. And it doesn't help that the lighting here is honestly not the best and the CGI still needs work, clearly. But that's not the only scene where I feel the cinematography looks a bit off. Here we see Optimus doing a simple transformation, but look at the way the camera angle is here. The camera, pans slowly and, to be fair, the shot's not really finished, but when you look at it like from here, like it looks off. It doesn't have that intensity, that magic that most of the previous, Optimus Prime transformations had. But that's not to say that everything's bad here. Like, look at this shot right here of Optimus pulling his gun out. Now, this looks more interesting. This is the kind of thing, a simple action. If Optimus is just pointing his gun forward. The camera is like, dead center focus on Optimus. He takes most of the space here. I feel like the camera could probably still be a little closer. Actually, let me fix the camera for you a little bit. See, kind of looks a little better this way. I feel like it's just, some shots like these that really stand out and really take you out of the experience. I do hope that for when the movie gets released, the CGI will be fixed, but even if the CGI gets fixed for some of these scenes, I don't think it's gonna be enough to save it like some people are talking about. Like, I feel like a scene like this one, Optimus Prime pulling his gun down, this needs to be heavily, and I mean heavily reworked, because this looks really, really awkward. Steven, I know you watch our videos from the Transformers fandom, and you're quite well aware of our shenanigans. I'm not saying this because I hate you or I hate this movie. I really want it to succeed, so please just listen to what I and the fans have to say. Now, another big complaint that has been going around will be the character designs. Now, this one is definitely more subjective. Either you like it or you don't like it. Now, frankly, I think the Maximus look spot on. I really do wish they had a bit more color. I mean, Cheetah looks fine so far. He seems to be yellow, and Air Racer looks fine. She's always been kind of brownish. But Optimus Primal and Rhinox look fairly dull. It's not like Dinobot levels of, boring gray protoform look. I really got on record to say that Optimus Primal does have his iconic blue color scheme in him. It's just very muted, because according to this movie, the Maximus have been on Earth for a very, very long time. So these are pretty old Maximus. It's not like Jetfire old, but they're still kind of old. So for the purpose of the movie, they kind of do need to look a bit, steampunk-esque, which I can kind of understand. But I really do wish at least a bit more color will shine through. So people also have a problem with the babyification of some characters, and I think the biggest complaint has been directed at Optimus, which, oh my god, Optimus has gotten a lot of controversy in this trailer. Everyone knows that the Bumblebee movie Optimus is probably the best look for the live action Optimus we ever had. It looks good, it looks fantastic, it's faithful to G1 while still having some Beavers aspects here and there. I'll be honest, I don't like the redesign that they gave him for this movie. And of course, the biggest, well, I guess second biggest problem has been that this Optimus looks anorexic. And I'm not gonna disagree, he kinda does. Especially on this shot. This shot still haunts me in my dreams, okay? Like his waist, look at his waist, like there's so little mass, he almost looks like a stick. They need to fatten him up a little. Like just do what the Bumblebee movie did, just adds a bit more mass to the sides of his hips, and trust me, it's gonna do wonders, it's gonna look fantastic. It's gonna fix a lot of our problem. And the second biggest sin will have to be the head. This Optimus Prime goes back to having a mouth like the Michael Bay Optimus Prime did. And honestly, I never hated the mouth. Listen! The mouth on the 2007 Optimus Prime, it looks fine. The mouth on Age of Extinction and TLK also looks fine, I don't mind it. But the mouth on the G1 Bumblebee movie body of this Optimus Prime doesn't look good. It's this weird mix that honestly shouldn't be. Like when he has the mask, he looks perfectly fine, aside from him looking anorexic. They should have just done what the baby movie did and let him keep his battle mask. Like listen, you are wasting more time in CGI animating this guy's mouth. No one, and I mean no one, complained about BB Optimus not having a mouth, okay? Nobody complained. I really do hope that they can fix this Optimus Prime's model by the time this movie comes out. But in all honesty, I don't think they're gonna be able to do that. Because most of the CGI here, I feel like it's already mostly done, and adding extra parts will just, you know, extend the, you know, CGI process, and they will have to retool almost every scene this Optimus Prime model appears in. And I just don't see them taking the time to do that, unfortunately. I'm sorry to tell you, but this is the Optimus Prime we're most likely gonna get. Now, like I mentioned, the Maximus, fine. Nobody has to complain about them. For Bumblebee, I saw some people complaining about the head, but the head's not fully transformed here. So people think that is how he's gonna look like. That's not how he's gonna look like. This is how he's gonna look like. He looks completely fine. My biggest problem with this Bumblebee was like the little yellow around like the eyes. It's a small nitpick, I know, but it really bothered me. But here in the trailer itself, it's not really a problem. RC, I think she looks fine. Some people are complaining about her nose, and honestly, I don't see the issue. I think it's just fine. Mirage, in all honesty, looks fine too. I mean, there's the common complaint that this is Mirage and not Jazz, but honestly, I don't mind his design. Like, look, this is the full transformation final look for Mirage. People have been looking at the unfinished transformation of the trailer, and in there, yeah, I can see why some people will be taken aback, but when you actually do see him fully transform, I think this looks good. I think this is a great reinterpretation of Mirage as a character. But something that has fans honestly quite scared is Wheeljack. People are really scared that Wheeljack will have his Dark of the Moon head. And in all honesty, because some leaks, which I will talk about in the next video, not this video, today I'm talking about the errors, it's very, and I mean very likely that Wheeljack is gonna have his Dark of the Moon head. Now, I don't mind Wheeljack's vehicle mode. I think that's great. You know, switching up vehicle mode to characters is something that happens all the time. I don't mind it. Completely fine. And since Wheeljack's a scientist, you know, I can see him like, you know, just having a lot of gadgets inside of him, and, you know, needing to storage them, you know, inside this kind of buffier vehicle mode. Like, that works, you know, I understand that. But the problem is the head. The thing that makes Transformers characters recognizable is, you know, their colors and their head. That's actually the main reason why Optimus and B kept their colors and head when going from Dark of the Moon to Age of Extinction. This Wheeljack here, from what we heard, he's not gonna have his BB movie head. Instead, he's gonna have a head that, according to the leak that I'm gonna be talking about very soon, he's gonna have a head that, in the leaker's description, it's gonna look like the angry video game nerd. And I think that's awful. It's not Dark of the Moon, but at the same time, it's like, you got Mirage's head right, you got RC's head right, you got Bumblebee's, well, you know, his Michael Bay head, but no one was complaining there. And you kind of, you know, went off the deep end with Optimus' head. Why not keep Wheeljack's head? And I actually know why. This is actually the third biggest problem with the movie so far. This movie has a hard time letting go of the Bay films. Now, I'm particularly confused by this part. Because, you know, this is supposed to be a reboot, okay? Like, Steven Capo Jr., after the trailer came out, just went forward and said, yep, reboot, it's a reboot, you know. We're gonna try and pay homage to the Bay movies, but yeah, it's its own thing. So, you know, we're not trying to connect this. So, you know, I get it, you know, okay, that's cool. In my opinion, that's great, amazing. But why keep so many Bayverse elements? Like, just give Wheeljack his regular head if you're not gonna go with the whole, you know, oh, this is still connected to Dark of the Moon. The whole reason why this movie is set in the past is so that it doesn't interfere with the events of the Michael Bay movies, which take place 2007 onward. Even the Baby movie was kinda guilty of this, adding Sector 7 and still, trying to fit in the messy Michael Bay movie timeline. In my opinion, the Michael Bay movies are holding all of these new movies back. Not because the Michael Bay movies, are bad. Well, they are bad, okay, objectively, but some fans still like them. And a lot of casual fans have a lot of fun watching these movies. There's a reason why a lot of the casual fan, reaction to this has been mostly positive. I'm gonna record and set this that if they announce that there is a reboot and, suddenly all of the past Michael Bay movies no longer matter, then that's gonna alienate a lot of the Bay fans that might not wanna come and watch this movie. And if they say that it's not a reboot, then that takes away a lot of the stakes, because now we know Optimus, RC, Wheeljack, and Bumblebee are not gonna die. No one's at risk, because whatever the Terrorcons are planning to do, it's meaningless, because now we know what the outcome of the movie is gonna be. Everyone survives, the Earth's still safe, the Maximus might die or whatever, and that's it. So when Stephen Caple Jr. said that there's a reboot, honestly I was happy for that, but I was confused. If this is a reboot, why not go all the way? It's fun if you want to keep Bayverse elements, but why let those same Bayverse elements constrict you, limit you to what you can do? And this also leads me to my fourth point, the fourth reason why people are really worried about the movie, and that is the leadership. Now again, no offense to Stephen Caple Jr. or the people working on this, I think they're doing a phenomenal job. They're clearly fans, they watch Beast Wars. That's actually one of the reasons why I'm so excited about this movie, because I know it's being made by people who genuinely care. But I do question if they're the right people for the job. Now, Stephen Caple Jr., something people have been mentioning is that he's not very used to working with CGI, and this is probably gonna be the most CGI, Transformers movie out there, because this time around, unlike the previous movies, the Transformers are on the forefront and the humans are the background. Usually it's the other way around, which is what we all want, and we are all honestly very happy to hear. And this is not me saying that, oh, I want Michael Bay back. No, that's the last thing we want. I'm just saying that I want this movie to be great. Do its own thing. That's fine. You can do it if you want to. As long as it's cool, as long as it's good, as long as the story is great, the characters are great, I don't really mind what you do. And so far, the first trailer, while it does a good job setting up some really cool shots, it's nothing that really blows me away, When watching any of the previous Transformers movie trailers, there was always, that money shot, that thing that made you say, whoa, that was great. And sure, this trailer does have it, but I think many people will agree that it doesn't have quite the same impact as some of those previous movie trailers did. I think the actors will honestly do a pretty good job. I don't really mind them. I just really hope that Steven can deliver. Now, another reason this is what came out yesterday, and honestly this really upset me. Steve Jablowski's not coming back to do the soundtrack for Rise of the Beast. Now, I saw some people early in the TFW website discussing this. Some people were mentioning that, oh, this is fine, we should try out new things, and we should move away from Michael Bay, this is what people want. Steve Jablowski stuff got derivative after the second movie and so on. Listen, Steve Jablowski, whether you like him or not, but you really think that his music got derivative as the movies went on, did some very amazing soundtrack for the Transformers movies. All of the movies are very well known for their amazing score. Listen, Dinobot Charge, Autobots Reunite, We Have to Go, This Is Our Fight, Arrival to Earth. These are amazing soundtracks that help each scene they were on. Dinobot Charge will not have worked if it wasn't for the music. Even the most pointless scenes like Megatron's negotiation were straight up bangers. For the Bumblebee movie, however, that was the first movie that Steve Jablowski didn't make the soundtrack for. And honestly, I think the Bumblebee movie really suffered in the OST department. Aside from the beginning, score from the Cybertron scene, the music towards the end when Charlie and Bumblebee said goodbye, the BB movie was honestly lacking. So recently, Jongning Bontemps, I hope I'm saying his name right, got confirmed to be the musician that is going to be composing Transformers Rise of the Beast. Now, the response to this has been interesting, but just to give you an idea, he has worked alongside Stephen Caple Jr. in movies such as The Land and Creed 2. He's friends with Stephen Caple Jr. And before you guys say, oh, he only got the job because he's friends with Stephen, this is a thing that happens in Hollywood all the time. Steve Jablowski got his job because he was friends with Michael Bay. So honestly, this is not really an issue. This is something that's that just sort of always happens. Now, his style is mostly hip-hop and rap. He also composed some soundtracks for Call of Duty, and the World War II trailer music after listening to it sounds very generic. Like, listen, when I think Transformers, I think epic fight scenes, I think large-scale robots. Say what you want about Steve Jablowski, even if his music, let's say, did got in fact repetitive towards the end, it was still epic, okay? I think it fit the movies properly. Hip-hop and rap, I don't see that working for this. And I listen to some of like Young Nick's like music here. I have a hard time seeing how all of this will fit in Transformers. Maybe that's my bias speaking, because I really don't like rap. It's not my genre of music. I know a lot of you guys like it, and that's fine, but it's just a huge no-no for me. In the trailer, the song by B.I.G. kinda worked, but there's a reason why you're getting so many edits, switching the music for something more primal, traditional. Like, my biggest fear is that this movie's soundtrack is just gonna be worst possible case scenario is gonna be generic, and best possible case scenario is just what Steven kinda likes. Like, man seems to be really into hip-hop and all that stuff, which, you know, that's completely fine, but like, I feel like a better fit for the trailer and the movie will either be, you know, get someone that makes more traditional scores. I mean, the movie is set in Peru, okay? Peru is very traditional. My elders from there, okay? It's a pretty cultural place. There's a lot of like native folk music that people listen to over there that could really, you know, just drive in that whole, you know, primal Beast Wars, you know, feel. Because these are beasts, okay? You know, when I think of like Beast Wars, I think of the Beast Wars soundtrack, you know, the little, you know, like going through the jungle kind of feel. If we're having a fight scene or something like that, and then hip hop and rap starts playing, which honestly, okay, I'm exaggerating with that. It's not gonna be like that. It's just gonna be more on the hip hop style of things. Honestly, I'm very worried about the music for this movie. I am very worried. I really do hope that he tries and, you know, tries to give the movie an epic feel, which he very well could. Okay, I'm not saying that the guy's automatically bad. I'm just saying how I feel and how most people are feeling right now about the circumstances. And before you ask, please do not harass this person or ask Steven to remove him from the film, because that's not gonna happen. Because he's his friend, okay? Listen, if I got my friend to be in a Transformers movie and everyone hated that he got the job, I'll be like, he's my friend. I'm not gonna, you know, just kick him out because you tell me to. And also, it's easier to work with people that you're friends with. Like, the reason why Steve Jablowski and Michael Bay worked so well is because they were both best buds. With Steven here having his bro, like, you know, right next to him, it makes things easier for him. So maybe a similar thing could happen. But look, I'll give the guy the benefit of the doubt, at least until we start hearing some OST for the movie. Okay, and this leads me to my last point of contention, and that's gonna be the voice acting. The choice in voice actors has been praised and hated by quite a bit of people. Now, Peter Cullen is Optimus Prime. You know, that's the standard. That's what we all expect. Peter Cullen has gone on record to say that he wants to play Optimus Prime for as long as he wants, as long as he lives. So that's honestly amazing. No complaints there. Bumblebee's probably not gonna have a voice actor again. Don't really mind that. But the problem is with everyone else. Everyone else seems to be, you know, people who have a lot of notoriety, you know, star power. That's the word I'm looking for. And the thing about that is that I feel like the movie's prioritizing star power. Like, hey, look, we got Ron Perlman here. Hey, look, we got famous comedian Pete Davidson. Hey, look, we got the YouTuber Lisa Koshy here. It's like, I feel like they're prioritizing all of these people to get, you know, people who might be fans of these guys to go and check the movie. And that's my biggest problem with it. Now, to be completely fair, Transformers movies have done this in the past too. Age of Extinction, Last Night, the Transformers were always voiced by someone sort of notable most of the time, and it did work in those movies. But this time around, I feel like they're really making a big deal of the voice actors here. I feel like the selection of the voice actors has really been very, you know, intentional, you know, mostly because of the star power and not exactly because this fits the character. Not to be unfair, we haven't listened to these people voice any of the characters yet, so honestly we can't be too judgy. We only heard Optimus and Optimus Primo, and Optimus Primo, to be fair, he sounds fine, mostly because Ron Perlman voiced Optimus Primo in Machinima's Power of the Prime series, a very awful series, I might add, but he sounds pretty good. He definitely sounds like a wiser, you know, older Optimus Primo. Mirage being voiced by Pete Davidson has been very controversial because a lot of people don't really seem to like Pete Davidson. But besides him, the second most controversial pick was Lisa Koshy as RC. In case you guys don't know this woman, and honestly I didn't know her until people pointed it out, but she's the woman that appears on YouTube Rewind. Yeah, I can see why people don't like her. And some of her YouTube content's a bit... it's a bit on the cringe side. But then again, I'm just a very unfunny YouTuber who makes Transformers videos and people watch it for some reason, so clearly I'm doing something wrong. I think Michelle Jo as Air Racer works just fine. I think she will do a fantastic job. And Peter Dinklage as Scourge is one that honestly is being received pretty well, actually. I don't know much about Peter Dinklage's works in voice acting. My biggest experience with him will have to be the goals from Destiny 1, and his performance in that game was...
Careful, its power is dark.
Yeah, we don't talk about those days. I don't think people will have much of an issue with some of these people if it wasn't very obvious that they're just casting them for star power instead of, you know, these people just feeling the characters. And also they're replacing a lot of like beloved voice actors that people will genuinely want to see come back. For Optimus Prime, we would like to see Gary Chalk, you know, Optimus Prime's original voice actor. He's still around and likes to voice characters from time to time. Why not get him back? And to be fair, while I do think that Gary Chalk being here will be really cool, I just don't see Gary Chalk's, you know, kind of younger Optimus Primal working on this older version of the character, voiced by Ron Perlman. I think Ron Perlman gives that gruff, you know, old guy toughness to Optimus Primal that Gary Chalk just doesn't have. As for Lisa Koshy, yeah, just, you know, having the BEA from Transformers Prime will be so much better. And for the other Maximals, yeah, well, their original voices were really iconic. Anything should be better than Netflix, in all honesty. And as for Nightmare, Battletrap, and Scourge, all of them are pretty new characters, so honestly I don't have any problem with their voices. The complaint is mostly based on, you know, older OG characters, and of course the fact that they're just kind of going for star power and nothing else. But yeah, out of all the things I mentioned in this video, I don't agree with all of them entirely. I'm just voicing what the fans think, what the general consensus has been. And I still do think that Transformers Rise of the Beast has a really good shot at being a really good movie and the movie that people have been waiting on. For now, all we can do is just, you know, keep speculating and keep on waiting till the movie comes out. And hopefully the movie will be good. Please, please be good. That's all we really care about. But yeah guys, that's it for this video. For my next video, I'll be talking about the leaks that I briefly mentioned in this video and that I discussed on my live stream last Friday. That's gonna be very interesting because I have a lot to say if those leaks are true. I didn't want to talk about it here because right now I just want to talk about the general consensus of how the people are feeling. But most of all, I want to know how you are feeling. Are you okay with the movie? Do some of these quote-unquote problems bother you? Are you concerned about the movie in any way, or do you feel like all of these points are invalid? Again, let me know your thoughts on all this in the comments down below. Me talking about them doesn't mean I necessarily agree with them, but what I can in fact tell you is that a lot is riding on the line for this movie. This movie could make or break the future of the Transformers movies. So it has, and I mean it absolutely has to do good. Failure is not an option. Stephen Capo Jr. and his crew have a lot to prove and have some really big shoes to fill. I really hope that they can deliver. I don't think anyone here wants this movie to fail, and the mere reason why people are bringing all of this negative stuff out is not because they're haters or they hate this movie. So if you do encounter someone that, you know, mentions the stuff I did, understand that they have good reason to be doubtful and to question things, okay? And at the end of the day, we all kind of want the same thing. But on that note, as always guys, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Do all that annoying YouTuber stuff. And I promise I will see you guys in the next video. Stay safe guys. Anyways guys, before we go, shout out to our amazing Patreons: Xavier the God, Stitch Productions, Scrub Lordo, Allspark Studios, Epic Nin, Lord Racer, Transformers Gears and Brawn, that's still quite a long name, Up to Nation Reviews, Joshua, James Newbold, Predator King Hunter Plays, Omega Tryon 2006, go check out his YouTube channel, Namekai, and the Diamond Chris Productions, please get a shorter name. And a bigger shout out to our even bigger Patreons, Jordan the Great and X23, who donated a amount of money. By donating to my Patreon, you get quite a few rewards. You get to collab with me in some of my videos if you so choose to. You can request some artwork from me, request some videos from me, get exclusive early access to some videos I haven't made public yet, as well as a variety of other projects and videos that I'm secretly working in the background. So consider donating if it interests you. Also, you're gonna get a shout out to your YouTube channel, and link to it will be in the description down below. Be sure to check out these guys and need all the help they can get to raise their YouTube channels, but keep in mind that this is entirely optional because freedom is the right of all sentient beings. Thank you guys again for donating, it's much appreciated, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Stay safe, guys.